to share with you my pantry video.
This is kind of a mesh-up video, as I've updated my pantry quite a bit since the time that we initially recorded this. So I'll be giving you the grand tour, along with some of the changes I've made here and there. Also, just a disclaimer to say that this video is not sponsored by IKEA. But IKEA, if you are watching, I'd love to be sponsored by you.
So as you enter the pantry, the first thing that you see is basically my baking counter. This is a KitchenAid cake mixer, which I got from my parents a couple of years ago as a birthday present. And I absolutely recommend this. It's fantastic. Anyway, we will do a separate video on this whole counter another time. But for now, we'd just like to do the rest of the pantry. So moving on, what we have here is a section of, I would call it our cooking items. And the next one, we have home goods and utilities, that sort of thing. And right here, what we have here is my butler's pantry. We will be doing a separate video on this, so do tune in and take a look. The first thing I'd like to talk about is actually these labels. Now what we have done is we have gotten this printed on the computer, and around that we have put one of these title frames, and the brand is Kaiser Treasures. And these are quite inexpensive. You can buy it for about $8 for 6 pieces. And this is how we fix it. First step is that we actually stick the label and the frame onto the shelf. And once that is done and dried overnight, the next step is I use a thin nail. I'm actually creating a hole so that I can put the split pin into it, because it's wood and the split pin will not go in on its own. So I remove this nail, and then using my split pin, I just put it in there and hammer it down a little bit. Let's get into the semantics of each shelf. Right here we've got the Sistema containers, and each of these big ones actually takes 2 packets of pasta. So that's how much we use each time we cook. So it's perfect. And what I do is, once the pasta is used, I wash the container and it goes right back here. So I know exactly what needs to be refilled when I go and get my groceries. Right at the back here, you will see the long grain pasta. And the IKEA jars are actually quite the perfect length for it. And I will get you the link for that too. And here we've got some other types of pasta and some taco shells.
I have switched from the Sistema to these IKEA jars since recording, as you can see. They both work really well, but I like how these glass jars actually look. And this way I can use the same type of containers for all my pasta.
On the second shelf here we've got noodles, mostly ramen noodles. And as you can see, we've got quite a variety. If you go to my cooking section, you will actually find a section on how to make ramen noodles a healthy meal. And do watch it and let me know what you think. Okay, on the next shelf we've got snacks. These are Crispies that actually need to be fried at home. And here we've got all our sauces for ice cream Sunday night. And well, these are all different types of snacks. And down here, we also have snacks, but these are already 1 serving size. So we've got a number of things in here, as you can see. We've got some chocolates, we've got almonds, we've got baked dal. But that's a pretty good snack to have. And this is preserved fruit. So we can just pick one of these and grab and go when we need to. And below that, we've got some boxed food. These are the equivalent of Indian TV dinners. And below that, we've got different types of oil. These are basically refills because I have small bottles in my kitchen, which I pour this into and refill as and when needed. So on the top shelf here, as you can see, we've got these really large mason jars, and they're all different types of flour. Well, mostly flour, because we've got the multi-purpose flour, gram flour, vermicelli, oatmeal.
I'm using this piece of wood as a riser for those jars at the back. I just bought a block of wood from the craft store and cut it to size with my handsaw.
And moving on, as you can see, the next shelf is mixed food that we use for cooking. And all the jars here are from IKEA. There are 3 sizes which you can see here, and the 4th size is where you saw my spaghetti just now. So on the 3rd shelf we have got a variety of lentils, and these jars are also from IKEA.
These jars are really convenient for pouring out a serving of lentils or beans for cooking.
Moving lower, we have got our canned food here. This 3-tier can holder is actually from Howard Storage World, but that has closed down in Singapore, and right now I think it's available in Ace Hardware if anybody lives in Singapore and wants to go get one. It's expandable, so it really works for me. I can move it to any shelf I like and it'll fit. Going lower, I've got all my different types of sauces here because we actually cook quite a few different cuisines. And this holder is also from IKEA.
In my updated pantry, I have a shelf dedicated to specific dietary needs. So these jars contain some of those foods like almonds and almond flour, chia seeds, and some gluten-free flours. I've also changed out my rice bins for these slimmer bins that fit nicely into the shelves. These bins are from CItyLife, and I like that they have sliding lids, which makes it very convenient for me.
On the next shelf, we have got household utilities like tissue boxes, and these are baggies which I use for keeping vegetables in. I don't like to use Ziplocs for vegetables. And below that, I have got all my extra labels. If you'd like to see that, we've got all the extra labels in here with some double-sided tape. So at any time I want to change up labels, I can do it. I make all my labels on the Brother label maker, and I will leave a link for that below. These are wraps as in baggies, Ziploc bags, and aluminum foil, parchment paper. All these things sit in here. In the next shelf, I have got lunch boxes and some extra lock and lock Tupperwares, some new mason jars, which I'm yet to use. Below that, we have got refills. Now these are spices and things like salt and pepper, which come in packets, and they are refills because the actual jars sit in the kitchen where I cook. And these are straws of different sizes, large straws, normal straws. I plan to change these into the IKEA bottles, but till then they'll sit in here.
So I've since got IKEA jars that I was hoping for, and the straws sit really beautifully in here.
And on the next shelf, I've got my recipe books and cards. And below that, we've got beverages, low-fat UHT milk, Coke. I know I shouldn't drink so much Coke, but we do. Below that, we've got our appliances. We've got a large thermos, smaller thermos, and I've got a blender, food blender, and a salad spinner.
I used to have my puppy closet in the pantry as well, but I've now moved that to what I call my Zoe corner. If you want to see how I've set that up, you can check out my pet closet organization video by clicking on the card.
Okay, so right here, I've got magnetic board from IKEA, which I use to hold my complete grocery list. So we've got like 3 pages, and I just sort of glance through this when I make my grocery list to make sure I have checked everything, and then I make my list accordingly. So yeah, this is pretty useful, and it's also got these hooks that you can actually hang something on. I currently am not using this, but in time to come, if I do find a purpose, I will definitely let you know. So that's it for today's video on my pantry. I hope you've enjoyed it, and do drop me your comments. I'd love to hear from you, and if you have any further ideas, let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye! So that's it for today's video on my pantry. I hope you've enjoyed it, and do drop me your comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any further ideas, let me know. Thank you for watching. Bye.